Yes, good evening to everybody. The family law, which I am going to deal with Muslim law, and we have completed the kinds of the waqf. And now that we were going to deal the mutawalli. Who is the mutawalli?
Supervisor of the Waqf.
Either you can say the supervisor or you can say the manager of the waqf property. And he is called mutawalli. Mutawalli, Mutawalli. That is the and the which I have just now shown. This is called gavel. It is there on the bench. If any disturbance is going on there in the court at the time, the judge or magistrate will bang on the hammer and the peg. The two instruments are called gavel. Gavel, gavel. Not a hammer, not a peg, not a mallet, and that is the specifically to maintain the order they will beat it on the peg. That is called gavel. Yes. Now, without wasting the time, I would like to come to the point of our study, that is the concept of the mutawalli under the Muslim law. So this is the two I prepared it, and we'll see that which will be the bigger one. We will see it. Yeah, this one we will see it, and it is a manager of a waqf or mutawalli. Appointment, duty, power, removal. So the table of content, can you read it? Anyone unmute and read?
Table of contents. Manager of a Waqf. Mutawalli. Appointment. Duty. Powers. Removal. Mutawalli. Who can be appointed as a Mutawalli? Who can appoint a Mutawalli? The founder of the Waqf, that is the Waqif. His second point, his executor. Third point, a Mutawalli on his deathbed as a successor for the time being. Fourth point, by the court, by congregation. Powers and duties of Mutawalli. Procedure to remove a Mutawalli. Conclusion. Manager of a Waqf. Mutawalli. Appointment. Duties. Powers. Removal.
Yes. Now let us see the who is Mutawalli. Mutawalli is defined as a person appointed by a competent authority for managing and administering waqf. Thus, a Mutawalli is more like a manager than a trustee. And so far as the waqf property is concerned, he has to see that the beneficiary get an advantage of the usufruct. Unlike the trustee, he is not an owner of the property. Therefore, he cannot sell the property. So technically, the position of the mutawalli under the Muslim law is different from that of a trustee. In Syed Mustafa Piran Shahib versus State of Waqf, Board High Court held that the definition of the mutawalli includes a person who, for the time being, manages waqf property. Hence, merely a manager or a supervisor is called the mutawalli, and he is not the owner of the property like a trustee, and he cannot sell the property. In case is a awqaf al-awlad means descendants, for the benefit of the descendants. If you want to sell the property, he has to take the permission from the court. Okay, a mutawalli has not only to bear the legal responsibilities, but must perform the religious responsibilities as well. The position of the mutawalli has been explained in the case of the Sayyid Ahmad versus Hafiz Zahid. I repeat the case law, Sayyid Ahmad versus Hafiz Zahid. In this case law, it is said that it is stated that the position of a mutawalli is not merely the manager or a servant of the waqf, and to carry out the directions of the waqif as mentioned in the deed, but rather a significant one. Because not only he has to take care of the property, not only he is a custodian of the property, whatever the terms and conditions the waqif has put it over there, and that must be done by the mutawalli. He has the right to exercise the discretion and take a decision diligently while managing a waqf. So he should be diligently deal the waqf property and see that waqf property should not be go to the encroachers. So Mutawalli not merely a manager and supervisor, but also he does something to protect the property of the Waqf. So that is decided in the case of the Syed Ahmad versus Hafiz Zahid. Who can be appointed as a Mutawalli? Yes, now you read, Rishita.
Any person who is of sound mind, attained the age of majority age, and is capable of performing the functions to be discharged under a particular waqf can be appointed as Mutawalli. Any person, whether male or female, Muslim or non-Muslim, may be appointed as a Mutawalli.
Yes.
Generally,
Yes, enough. Because how much highlighted, that much is enough. I highlighted the only first paragraph. Okay. So, who can be appointed a Mutawalli? The male or a female? But if you say Mutawalli is not only the manager to take care of the property, but whatever the Waqif said in the deed, that is Waqfnama, that the duty should be performed. Suppose if the Mutawalli, it is written that he has to offer the prayer in the congregation in the masjid. At the time, a Muslim woman cannot lead the congregation in the mosque. Of course, in the private house, she can lead as a imam, and behind her, the many people, ladies will perform the prayer. But here, when there is a duty to perform the religious function of it, at that instance, a woman cannot do so. That is the reason, preferably, Mutawallis are male Muslims. So here, the same thing they said. So the age of the majority is an important factor. Sound mind is another important factor. And discharging the duty in a diligent manner to protect the waqf property, the Mutawalli would be appointed. Any person, whether a male or female restrictions are there. If a Mutawalli has to perform the religious duty in the congregation, at the instance, female cannot do so. Hence, a Mutawalli should be a male, and a Muslim or non-Muslim also be taken into consideration. But if a non-Muslim cannot perform the prayers and lead the prayer and do the religious things, hence, in that case, generally, Mutawalli should be male and he is a Muslim. Generally, a woman and a non-Muslim can be appointed as a Mutawalli, but where the Mutawalli is required to discharge the religious functions, a female cannot be appointed as a Mutawalli. And the same thing applies in the case of the non-Muslims as well. That is very much clearly stated in the Sabahar Bano versus Aga Muhammad. So, SBAHR, Spahar Bano. Actually, this is Sahara Bano, I believe. But anyway, B is there, SBA, Spahar Bano versus Aga Muhammad. A non-Muslim cannot be a Mutawalli if he has to discharge the religious function at the mosque, at the dargah, khanakha, takiya, and then another I said them. What are the other things? We have shown in the pictures. Yes. One is masjid, another is graveyard, another is Eidgah, another is Bhaktulara. Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But why you are not giving the answer? If you don't know, you can say pass on. Repeat. Generally, waqf would be masjid. Go on.
Graveyard. Idgah.
Proceed. Public garden. No public garden.
Public garden. Hospital.
Takiya. Over. Ashur Khana. I've shown you the pictures.
Imambara.
Imambara. These are all the things where we can make it the property of the Waqf. A minor cannot be appointed as a Mutawalli, but where the office of the Mutawalli is hereditary, and after the death of the last Mutawalli, the person entitled to succeed the office as a minor, then in such a case, office may be held by a minor, but there should be a guardian to take care of it, to deal the thing till he attains the age of majority. Yes, thus, the following persons are eligible for being appointed as a Mutawalli. Who are they? The settler himself, the founder himself, the Waqif himself, his children and descendants, any other person, even a female or a non-Muslim, except if the Waqf where religious and spiritual functions are to be performed. If the Mutawalli is supposed to perform the religious and spiritual function, at that instance, a female cannot be suitable for the Mutawalli, and a non-Muslim cannot be suitable for the Mutawalli because the religious and spiritual functions cannot be undertaken by them. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now read Himabindu. Who can appoint a Mutawalli?
Who can appoint a Mutawalli? A new Mutawalli can be appointed by: first one, the founder of the Waqf, that is the Waqif. The founder of Waqf can lay down a scheme for the administration of the trust and for the successor to the office of Mutawalli, and may nominate successors by name, or can indicate the class together with their qualifications from whom Mutawallis can be appointed.
Enough. The founder of the Waqf, that is a Waqif, what he does? The founder of the Waqif, settler, lays down a scheme for the administration of the trust and for the successor to the office of the Mutawalli, and may nominate a successor by name. Number one, he should be a Mutawalli. After that, he should be a Mutawalli. After that, he should be a Mutawalli. Even the minor also can be a Mutawalli, or can indicate the class together with their qualifications from whom Mutawallis can be appointed. So, he will give the list. Who will give the list?
The Waqif.
Waqif, founder, settler, will give the list. Who is the owner of the property? Second, read second. Next.
The executor of the Waqif is entitled to appoint a Mutawalli if the Waqif dies without appointing any Mutawalli, and also if the Waqf deed is silent about the appointment to the post of Mutawalli.
Yes, he is the executor. See, it is the founder, he makes someone as a Mutawalli, and that fellow will execute it. So that is he is the executor. The executor of the Waqif is entitled to appoint a Mutawalli if the Waqif dies without appointing any Mutawalli. Suppose the Waqif made the four, number one, number two, number three, four, in succession, and at that instance, if the executor is no more over there, the second one will come into the picture. If the second one is no more over there, third in the rank will come as a Mutawalli. Then if the third one is died, or he will be kicked the bucket, or whatever it may happen, the fourth one will take charge of it. But if there is no Mutawalli, only one Mutawalli is there who is an executor after his, even that Mutawalli and who is the executor of the Waqif, if entitled to appoint a Mutawalli, and that Waqif dies without appointing any Mutawalli, at that instance, silent about the appointment of the post of Mutawalli. So, Mutawalli, and also if the Waqf deed is silent about the Mutawalli, the post of the Mutawalli will be given to the executor. Who execute it? That is the second one. It is Waqif, not wife. This is K is there. Q. Yeah. So now the third one is a Mutawalli on his death bed as a successor for the time being. Like a Marazul mouth, you had said at the time of the deathbed. A Mutawalli, suppose, is in a deathbed as a successor for the time being. An existing Mutawalli has no right to appoint his successor, but where an existing Mutawalli finds that there is no possibility of appointment of his successor through the Waqf deed or by the executor, by the court, by the law, by the court of law, and he is now already on his deathbed, then in such a case, he himself can appoint the successor. It is self-explanatory. Do you need any explanation for that one? When a Mutawalli is at the deathbed, and there is no other Mutawalli is nominated by the Waqif, at that instance, generally Mutawalli cannot appoint the Mutawalli. But at the time of the deathbed, he can do so. That is the same thing which is said here. So that is a Mutawalli on his deathbed as a successor of the time being. Okay, that is the time being. Later on, the court will interfere, or the relatives of the Waqif will be interfere over there. Then it will be settled. Who would be the successor to the Mutawalli? Then successor. Okay, number 4, by the court. How? When a person appointed as a Mutawalli dies, or when the office of the Mutawalli is vacant, and there is no provisions in the deed of Waqfnama, that is document of the Waqf papers. It's called Waqfnama or deed of Waqf, regarding the succession to the office, or when he refuses to act in a trust. So in all the 3 circumstances, there is no Mutawalli. At that instance, court will interfere and appoint the Mutawalli. There is the 5th one, congregation. Do you know what is meant by congregation? If you know, you tell me. If you don't know, say pass on. Don't waste the time.
సమావేశమయ్యి ముతవల్లిని ఎన్నుకోవడం. సమావేశం.
Say in English. In the group, nominating a person as a Mutawalli. This means where the Waqf is local in such a mosque or a graveyard, then in this case, Mutawalli can be appointed by the collective decision of the locality people, local people. That is called congregation. Another also congregation will be there, where Jatra is there, a good congregation comes over there. If any marriage is there, very big congregation should be there. So these are all congregations. Powers and duties of Mutawalli. Now let us see what are the powers and duties of Mutawalli. Number 1, being the manager and a superintendent of the property, he has the following powers and duties. What are they? Number 1, bullet. To protect the interest of the Waqf. That is true. The property, it is true. Number 2, to discharge all the public dues, whatever the public dues should be there, or the medical bills, electricity bills, water bills, and carry out all the necessary acts which are lawfully required to protect the property of the Waqf. Number 3, to appoint his successor on deathbed. At the time of the deathbed, he can appoint it. In case the founder and executor of Waqf are dead, and there is no other way to appoint the Mutawalli, at the instance, at the deathbed, that person can appoint a successor Mutawalli. Next, to carry out the directions of the board in accordance with the said act, that is the Waqf Act. What the deed says, Waqfnama, and whether it is in a contravention with the Waqf Act. If it is a contravention with the Waqf Act, that is null and void. So any order or rule passed, it should be in consonance with the Waqf Act. Next, to furnish such returns of the supply of such information which needed by the board in accordance with the provision of the Waqf Act. So a Waqf board wants to know the information, returns and assets, liabilities, statement, yes, the yearly statement, yearly reports, or if they need the quarterly or the half yearly, or that instance, even the Waqf board wants it, then the Mutawalli should have to submit the returns to the Waqf board. The last one is to allow inspection of the Waqf properties, accounts and records or deeds and documents, like a local, what is that local audit. There is a central audit also there. Suppose the central government has given the loan to you or something to you to work, then even the central government, what I say, checking also there, auditing also there. Even the state government, if you are given any amount, then state government auditing also there. So both will be audited, whether the amount is properly utilized or not. Yes, next, procedure to remove a Mutawalli. Yes, Himabindo, read.
Procedure to remove a Mutawalli. Once a Mutawalli is appointed, he cannot be removed from his post by the Waqif unless such power has been provided under Waqfnama. The court has, however, the power to remove the Mutawalli on the grounds such as breach of trust, being unfit for the post, insolvency, negligence to perform the duties, any physical or mental incapacity, misfeasance, or any other valid reason.
Yes. So, how a Mutawalli can be removed? So, once the Mutawalli is appointed, he cannot be removed from his post by the Waqif. Even Waqif cannot remove him unless until it is there in the Waqfnama, the Waqf deed. The court has a power, yes, to remove the Mutawalli, but a ground should be shown. Sir, Mutawalli is very much tall, hence they removed it. Is it the ground?
No, sir.
No. Mutawalli is short, no ground.
No.
Then, if he does a breach of trust or used the property of the Waqf for his wife name or for wife benefits or himself benefit, the children benefit, and when he unfit for the post because he could not know what he is doing is right or wrong, and he became insolvent, a bankrupt, no money, and negligence to perform his duty, and any physical or mental incapacity would be there. And if it does, there are three terminologies are there. I don't know whether you studied or not in the last part. What are the three terminologies? One is clearly mentioned over here, that is called misfeasance. What is the other two terminologies? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't need it, you say pass on.
Pass on, sir.
There are malfeasance, misfeasance, non-feasance. Sir, is మొదటిసారి వింటున్నాం sir. Is it? It comes in the law of
Yes, sir.
chart. It will be there in the law of chart before you are doing the negligence. So here, misfeasance in the sense, you are doing good. I don't say that it's a bad, but doing in a wrongful way or not in a systematic way. I will give the reason. Suppose in the mall, a janitor is mopping the floor. At that instance, he has to keep a caution board. What would be the caution board?
Sir, repeat, sir. Repeat again.
A janitor means person who attends the washing rooms, corridors, is called janitor. Janitor. Only Professor Hussain students know this meaning. Other people doesn't know this meaning. What is that, sir? Janitor. Sir, can you make it out? Yes, I can make it out. Yes, what is the spelling? What is the spelling?
Janitor.
Yes, Janitor. Janitor meaning, now you tell me. Yes. Janitor. Yes. a caretaker or a doorkeeper of a building. Or another meaning also, healthcare, or where one who keeps the premises of the building, such as an apartment or office, clean, tends the heating system, and makes minor repairs, including the washrooms. Including the washroom also. A janitor is an entry-level job. It is the role responsible for maintaining the workplace by fixing the broken instruments, cleaning and surroundings, even cleaning the washrooms also. It is a janitor job. Now, is it clear what is a janitor? So yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now here they say how he can be removed. They say if it is a misfeasance. A janitor cleans the floor, but he does the misfeasance. What misfeasance? He did not keep the caution board. What is the caution board? What is the caution board? She did not, or he did not keep it. When he's mopping the floor. Sir, work is in progress. When he is mopping the floor, he keeps the caution board that wet floor, take care. Repeat.
Wet floor, take care.
So if she did not keep it, means is enough. That is a misfeasance. Okay. Non-feasance, not keeping the caution board is a non-feasance. Not at all doing. Are you feeling? Not at all doing, no, illegal also. Non-feasance, then we can say illegal things also. Taking the bribe is a non-feasance. And malfeasance, malnutrition. It is nothing but a malnutrition. Means deficiency in the work. So that is the doing the work not in a proper way, but doing the work illegally and not at all doing the work. That is called the misfeasance, malfeasance, non-feasance. So these are all three things would be there, and where the sixth carpenter case law will be dealt over there, and that is the non-feasance example. I don't know whether you remember the sixth carpenter case law. It is taught in the title of taught. Okay, let us see that if time would be there, I will give the what is the sixth carpenter case law. A Mutawalli can be removed from his post by way of suit by the district judge. Yes. Suo motu, if somebody taps his sir, this Mutawalli is completely eating away the property of the Waqf, then suo motu, the district court will inquire it and say that he should be removed. Suppose if he has swallowed some of the property, then that will also be taken from him. Okay, what is the conclusion? Under the Muslim law, the moment of waqf is created, all the rights of the property pass out of the waqif and vest in the Almighty. Vest in the Almighty. Sir, Almighty ante God annaru. Okay. Lord Krishna, God. Okay, Lord Venkateshwara, God. Lord Rama, God. Okay? Okay? Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి. పోసమ్మ తల్లి, మైసమ్మ తల్లి, సమ్మక్క సారక్క, సార్ వాళ్ళు కూడా గాడ్. ఎస్
Yes, sir.
If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, just pass on. Don't waste the time. సార్
God, sir.
గాడెసెస్ అంటారు సార్. మొగళ్ళనేమనాల మళ్ళీ?
God.
పాస్ అని చెప్పండి. సార్ ఇక మేము చెప్పాం సార్, మాకు ఫీలింగ్ వీఆర్ ఫీలింగ్ ఇన్సల్ట్ సార్. ఇన్సల్ట్ ఏమన్నది జస్ట్ చెప్పాలి కూడా పాస్ అని అనాల్సిందే. ఎస్
ఇద్దరిని కలిపి ఆల్మైటీ అనొచ్చు సార్, ఎవరినైనా, లేడీస్, ఫీమేల్ ఆర్ మెయిల్ కార్డ్స్.
డిటి అంటారు వాళ్ళను. చిన్న కొంచెం ర్యాంక్ తక్కువ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు డిటి అంటారు. డిఐఈటివై డిటి. లార్డ్స్ అంటే ఏమంటే పెద్దోళ్ళు అన్నట్టు, కొంచెం అంత దాంట్లో కూడా ర్యాంక్ ఉన్నది. DT. DT. Correct. A god or goddess, the essential nature of the condition being the god or divinity. Then does DT mean God? No. Yes, plural deities, essential meaning of the deity, a god or goddesses. Ancient Greek deities, a reference to the deity, but generally we will say the deity. What is the spelling?
DEITY.
DEITY DT. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes, sir.
See, if you miss it, you will miss that word, the DT. But I will tell you that what I told yesterday class, I will ask you at the end of the class later. Okay, now let us see that the Almighty God, Mutawalli, is the manager of the Waqf, and his job is to see that the intended beneficiary getting the benefits and the use effect of the property are being utilized for valid purposes. Mutawallis under the Muslim law is that person who supervises or take over the management of the Waqf. The Mutawalli has no right in the property belonging to the Waqf. The property is not vested in him and is not a trustee in the technical sense. He is merely a superintendent or manager that is clearly mentioned in the Vidya Varuti versus Baluswami. Baluswami. I repeat, Vidya Varduti versus Baluswami 1921 case law. He should not be a minor, who Mutawalli, and should be of sound mind, who Mutawalli, so that he is capable of performing the function of the Waqfu Mutawalli. Okay. Yesterday I told something. They're tying that to the two trees and hanging it and swinging it by joy swinging. What is that? సార్ నిన్ననే మర్చిపోయినాం సార్ అది.
Hammock.
Yes. Yeah.
Hammock, sir.
Hammock. HAMMOCK. Okay, that is the yesterday's class which I made it over there. But I don't know whether other thing also I made, whether you could read it in proper way or not. I would like to see it. Then, yeah, if you happen to see the syllabus, we have, in addition to that, what we just studied, yes, where we are. Yes, it is there in the syllabus here. Then we'll come across to the syllabus. You have seen section, syllabus. Where is the syllabus gone? Yes. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, then we have seen Mutawalli. Who can be a Mutawalli? Mutawalli, powers of the duties as Mutawalli, removal of the Mutawalli, and management of the property, Waqf tribunal and jurisdiction. Let us see some of the Waqf tribunal and jurisdiction in tomorrow class. Okay?
Okay,
Say yes.
sir.
Okay,
Now
sir.
let us see whether what I have shown you yesterday you could have seen it or not. No, this is you have not seen it. And I told you to how to read the section. I would like to test you whether you could read it proper way or not. సార్ నిన్ననే మర్చిపోయాను కదా సార్, అది ఇట్లా ఇట్లా చెప్పాలని అది గుర్తులేదు సార్ నాకు. ఓకే. Yes, I found it. This is the hammock. Okay. Now you read this section. Read.
Section 12, subsection 2, class small a, subclass small Roman number 2, para capital A, subpara small a.
Appreciate. Yes, you could remember it well. See, that is the I want to say it in that way that you have to read it. That is the spirit of reading. So, Mutawalli, who is Mutawalli?
Manager of Waqf
Supervisor
property.
or manager of Waqf.
In addition to the taking care of property, whatever the things written in the, what is the deed of the Waqf called? What is the deed of the Waqf is called? Waqfnama.
Waqfnama.
Whatever the thing is written in the Waqfnama, the duty should be performed by the Mutawalli. In any case, Mutawalli is not a trustee. And Mutawalli could not use the Waqf property for his personal ends. If he does so, breach of trust is there, insolvency is there. If he misuses the property, if the dishonesty, he become insolvent, at that instance, if he become incompetent, and if he become a thief, and if any criminal charges are against him, and he will be removed by the court. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So these are the things. So let me stop it today, class. Then we'll meet you tomorrow. By that time, that I would like to say goodbye. Have a good day. Meet you end of the meeting for all.